Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Doki Blue Skies. So previously, we got involved in some semi-romantic shenanigans with Yuri. Especially after MC decided to be a dunce and be like, "Hey look, a sharp pointy knife, I wonder what happens if I touch it." Okay, well anyways though, so now the day of reckoning is upon us. It's the day of the festival! However, I'm gonna go at ludicrous speed until the game interrupts me. Okay, fine, well. It's the day of the festival. The preparations for the event should be nearly complete, given all the work everyone's put in over the weekend. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. And I smile and... ludicrous speed. Okay, I put down the banner I'm holding and grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. And yes! Oh, here we go. Just then, Natsuki burst into the room carrying a box that positively towers over her. Really? Well, I guess it has, considering she probably had to bring a whole lot of them. Yuri trails in behind her, clutching at a large duffel bag nervously. Alright, it's festival time! And by that, it's ludicrous speed time. Until the game does... It's like, why do I even try? Natsuki unpacks her box to reveal 4 trays of cupcakes stacked carefully on top of each other. Daniel! Oh, here we go. I jump at the sudden outburst. Yes? Well, I can't say yes, dear, because you're not my dear. She is. Help me lay out these cupcakes. Then, if you wouldn't mind... Sayori, can you help me with these? Yuri gestures at her bag, to which Sayori nods cheerfully. I help Natsuki with her cupcakes while Yuri and Sayori start putting up decorations. Meanwhile, Natsuka... What? Did I just combined Monika and Natsuki? Man. Well, I'm sure someone's already done that. I mean, someone did make Sayuri and Sayonika. Meanwhile, Monika continues putting down pamphlets. It isn't long before Natsuki has carefully arranged her cupcakes in a neat formation. Each cupcake is topped with white icing and some kanji written in a variety of different colored frostings. Wow, these look really good. Great idea to make them literature club themed as well, Natsuki. Yeah, it was a good idea, huh? I wrote down words that specifically have to do with poetry in our poems, too. She picks up a cupcake to show me. See, this one says, create. Isn't that the kanji for use? Well, I suppose you can use stuff in a poem. I don't know. As Natsuki furiously checks over the rest of her cupcakes to look for more miswritten characters, I glance over at Sayori and Yuri. Okay, I don't know if anyone heard that. My phone alarm was going off there. Okay, well then. Glance over at Sayori and Yuri. Yuri's on the floor painting her inspirational quote on the banner in white paint. I guess she figured out where I put the banner. I guess she figured out where I put the banner herself. Meanwhile, Sayori's hung up the kanji curtain in the doorway and is puzzling over the essential oil setup. A good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends. I fight for my friends. It's a quote by German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, and I still don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Funny lady, can you also help me apologize to the people? I don't like butchering people's names. It makes me feel awful inside. Seems like a pretty fitting quote. Yes, I thought it would summarize our experiences in the club quite well. I'm finished with the lettering, so if you wouldn't mind, Daniel. That is... Could you hold my chair steady while I pin this up? Of course. Of course, milady. Yuri pulls a chair up to the front of the classroom and climbs onto it, teetering slightly. She grips the banner tightly in her hands as she reaches up to attach it onto the wall. Or attach it to the wall. The chair gives a threatening wobble, but I luckily managed to steady it. It's like, yeah, you better not let her fall. Ah! It's okay, Yuri, I've got you. You don't have anything to worry about. Thank you. Is it just me, or does she look like she's starting to blush now? Because you are my hero. Okay, no. I begin to feel my... I feel my cheeks begin to heat up as well. Somebody's blushing. I didn't say anything weird, did I? No, you didn't say anything. Oh. Well done. It's okay, I've got you. You don't have anything to worry about. I mean, I guess you could take that in a romantic sense, like, I've got you. And with me around, you'll never have to worry about anything ever again. Because I will always be with you by your side. Okay, what the hell was that? Well, I guess it's a combination of kind of saying something romantic and also the fact that you literally just saved her from possibly falling and getting hurt. When I help her down from the chair after she's finished, she looks more bashful than ever. Man, how do I always make things so awkward? I don't know, maybe you're just an awkward person in general. I'm not knocking that against you, considering IRL I'm a very, very awkward person as well, so... Yeah, it's like, don't feel too bad. I'm in the same boat. And... let's see. Okay, ludicrous speed time. Okay, well, this is pretty much the same as before. Okay, time to bust out the old notebook. Let's see, where did I leave off on? Okay, with the argument... well, the initial argument... Okay, well, oops. I'm a little bit behind here. I guess it makes sense that... I mean, how else differently could you do this? Obviously, Natsuki was the one who was against this at the very start. Okay, so I guess... I don't know if... well, maybe I should try to maybe do the bad end at the very least. At least that way I'm in better shape to possibly weed out the bad choices and concentrate on getting the good ending for last. Okay, well, in that case, my intuition tells me that siding with Monica would be probably the better option. It might make Yuri see me in a different light, compared to if I were to go with Natsuki, who she's at a bit of a conflict with. So, in that case, for this one time, possibly in this route, I'm gonna be a simp for Natsuki. My god, I did not think that it was gonna just skip by all that so much. Okay, so quite literally everything happened the same way as the Natsuki video. And I don't know, considering I am just skipping over this to not only to save time, but also just because, I mean, it kind of feels redundant going over this again. There's a good chance I might just make a separate video covering the festival and maybe the Halloween event, considering it just seems the same. Okay, yeah, so we followed out... where... oh my... jeez, okay, well... okay, it's Saturday now. Before that, we followed Natsuki out to the front of the school. We talked to her a bit, kind of console her. We left. We're at the library now. We see Monica, who doesn't like me anymore. Well, going off the theory that she never liked me to begin with, it's like, now she's just giving me the cold shoulder a little bit more visibly. So, you know, so it's like, it was talking to a brick wall because she has nothing to say to you. Let's see, but since I'm here, maybe I should do some reading. I pull out Portrait of Markov out from my bag. I pull out Portrait of Markov from my bag. I quickly flip to where I left off last night and begin reading. It's really quite a captivating book. If all the novels Yuri reads are like this, I can see why she'd be so absorbed in them all the time. Although maybe she's just rubbing off on me. I'm in the middle of a chapter when I feel a tap on my shoulder. Oh my god, who's there?
Oh, Daniel? Is that you?
No, it's Pinocchio! Looking up from my book, I see Yuri standing over the side of the table, as if on cue.
Right on cue!
A thick, dark book is snugly rested under her arm.
I'm sorry if I startled you. I suppose I'm just a bit surprised to see you.
Give me some credit, Yuri. I can enjoy a good book, too. Yeah, like, let's pretend all the times I was like, I don't read books. Just never happened.
Oh, I didn't mean to insult you or anything.
I was trying to make things more comfortable with humor, but predictably it fell flat. Yeah, because now she thinks that she's insulted your intelligence with that comment. I should have remembered that Yuri tends to take those sorts of comments more to heart than other people might. Relax. I was just kidding around.
I see.
Yuri's shoulders visibly relax.
Would you mind if I asked what you're reading?
Oh sure, it's actually Portrait of Markov. Yuri's eyes light up at those words. So happy. Also, yeah, I guess this is the funny expression. And don't worry, I'm gonna try to use that as sparingly as possible. It's just that ever since I saw that picture, I cannot... Like, every time I see Yuri make this face, I just think the funny.
I'm very glad you're liking it. That is, I assume...
Don't worry, Yuri. It's a really good book. Yuri sighs a little in relief.
Then I stand by my first statement, Daniel.
Anyway, speaking of books,
if you're enjoying Portrait of Markov so much, I'd like to introduce you to another book like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. I have full faith in your taste when it comes to books. A small smile plays across Yuri's face.
Actually, I just had a thought. I know a wonderful place nearby that we could go to right now if you'd like.
Huh, really? Is it another library or something?
I suppose it's related.
Well, lead the way. I wasn't doing much here anyway, except for getting the cold shoulder from Monica, who doesn't like me.
Thank you for coming along despite the short notice.
It's no bother at all, really. Again, I can't help but feel amazed at how much Yuri's taking charge. I get it, you really like an aggressive woman. It's really quite nice seeing her break out of her shell a little bit. Okay, well, yeah. Me being a stupid aside, it is nice to see someone, especially someone as reserved as her, kind of speaking her mind a bit and taking initiative, instead of letting people kind of, I don't want to say like push her around, but like letting her kind of fall into the background and not be noticed. I've had a lot of experience with that myself. She does have an air of mystery about her still, but she's a dangerous woman. Okay, no. And no, I'm not going to use that song. I guess I'll start learning a bit more about her as each day passes. That's the idea. The two of us start heading away from the library. So, where are we headed, Yuri? We're not heading to public humiliation, are we? No, well, she's probably against that.
I intended for it to be a surprise.
Surprise.
Do you not like surprises? If so, you have my deepest apologies.
Oh my god, this poor girl. Nah, it's fine. I'm just curious is all. And I just want to make sure you're not leading me into some kind of screaming metal death trap place. This is like some sort of adventure, huh?
Well, I suppose if that's how your imagination wants to interpret it, I'd be inclined to agree.
Even though I'm currently with Yuri, the situation reminds me of the times I used to spend with Sayori back when we were kids. Interesting. Always running around the neighborhood, acting like we were on some grand adventure. We're off on another whirlwind adventure. Sayori. Yeah, you know, about yay high, short, reddish hair, bow in her hair, and the most beautiful blue eyes you could ever stare into. I haven't spoken to her since the festival fiasco. Don't mention that name! Maybe it would be a good idea to...
Daniel, is everything alright? You seem to have spaced out a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about another woman. It's nothing. I'm just thinking about things. And then Sayori comes out from the corner and she says, I'm things. And then someone else comes along and says, okay, no.
I see. Well, we're almost there. Just a little bit further to go.
Oh, hello. Continuing onwards, we pass through some trees until we come to a small clearing. Oh, wow. Hey, it's the park that I've been to in another timeline. Before us is an amazing, sparkling lake. Gentle waves dance delicately across the surface, carried by the soft wind.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, funny lady. It sure is. It's like I could stare at this scenery forever. It's lovely. I've always liked this pond.
Oh, you've been here before then?
Yes. In another timeline where I was dating Natsuki. But you don't need to know about that. With Sayori. Years and years ago, that is. Okay, that too.
I see.
Oh.
Well, Daniel, I don't know about you, but I find this place is a perfect place to come when I need to space out, or when I need a bit of space to myself. Spacing out is your thing, not mine. Oh, do you come here often then? So, come here often then? No. Not as often as I did when I was younger.
For a split second, a pained expression crosses Yuri's face.
Some days
She shakes her head.
Anyway, perhaps I can give this to you.
What is this? Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a moderately sized book.
Here, I think you'll enjoy this one.
Yuri, you didn't have to go out of your way to you didn't have to go out of your way for me with this?
It's okay. I've read this one so many times. It could do with a new owner.
Wow. The gift of literature.
Besides, the best thing about a story is how it can be shared.
Absolutely. Some stories are just meant to be shared with others. Especially I'm sorry I go off on tangents, but it's like, I have so many things to say. But pretty much anyone around you has their own story to tell. So, in a sense, if you really wanted to, you could just, given that you're just a friendly passerby or whatever, or even a good friend, it's just ask someone, what's your story? And chances are they'll most likely be delighted to tell you about themselves. Especially because maybe they have so much wisdom and experience to share with others. At least that's kind of what I used to do with my grandparents a bit, when I used to ask about certain things and what they thought about said certain things. So, I mean, you can learn a lot just by listening to the stories that people share, so it's like, it broadens your horizon, so it's like, by all means, never hesitate if you have the chance to. Especially in the case of my grandparents, because, well, you never know how long they have for this earth. Well, anybody really, so who knows. It's like, get in and make use of what time you have, because you don't know how much time anyone truly has left. I thought I would have had more time with my mother, but as I learned 3 years ago, that wasn't the case.
No matter who reads it, you're never going to find two people with the exact same opinion.
Yep, true. Everyone has their own tastes and perceptions and train of thought.
And, well...
Yuri nervously plays with her hair.
After you've been so kind to me, I wanted to do something nice for you too.
I see. Well, thank you very much. I'll definitely give this a read and let you know what I think. I turn over the book in my hands. The cover is hard and glossy, the pages showing small signs of wear. I guess Yuri wasn't lying. She must have read this book at least 50 times. I wonder what makes this story so important. It's her favorite story, and it has a close place to her heart. As I turn back towards her, I notice how intently she's staring at the lake's gentle surface. When was the first time you came here? She looks over at me quizzically. You said this place was special to you, right? I want to know why you feel that way.
Right.
More tragic backstory time. She sighs and leans on the wooden guardrail. I quietly stand by her side.
Well, I suppose one day when I was younger, things were particularly hard. Do you ever have those days, Daniel, where nothing seems like it can be good again?
Yes, especially after losing my mother. That's pretty dark, isn't it? So something about this place makes you feel better?
Not quite. I just came here one day. I'm not absolutely certain how I found this place, but I remember running a lot. Before I knew it, I was out here, in the sea of chaos, things left serene, however briefly they might have. Everyone needs a place they can call their own, somewhere they can decompress without worrying whether or not someone will intrude on them.
That much I agree on. You need that sort of personal, safe haven, so to say, for yourself. And here is that place for you? Yuri nods.
It's peaceful here, the sound of the water playfully lapping at the shoreline, the plush grass below, the nurturing trees above, providing a loving shelter to embrace me in the midst of the elements. It's the kind of thing I really missed.
Have you shown this place to anyone else besides me? Like your parents? Yuri pauses, staring in front of her at nothing in particular.
I might have. This is the kind of place my father would have enjoyed. He used to do watercolors in his spare time, you see.
Does he not do it anymore? Yuri doesn't respond. Maybe you could bring him down here sometime. It might give him a bit of inspiration. He needs to get going again.
That's a good idea, Daniel. I'd love to do that.
Hopefully he enjoys it as much as I am right now. This place really is incredible. Yuri smiles softly.
I'm glad. Maybe we could come by again.
Or maybe sometime. Okay. Yeah. I could bring like a blanket and have a bit of a picnic. Picnic date.
That sounds nice.
I'll hold you to that. Yuri giggles.
I'll look forward to it.
Anything for you, funny lady. I feel my face flush at the idea. Someone's in love. Okay, no. A picnic with Yuri. There's something so playful about that. Yeah. And it's like, it really would make a good idea for a date. Just the two of you relaxing out in the beauty of nature and, you know, just being alone together and have a kind of a playful mood. I chuckle to myself at the image in my head. Yeah, that would be nice. 'Cause wouldn't it be nice? The two of us continue to pass the time looking over the lake. Well, at least it looks a lot more pretty in the it looks pretty in the sunsets compared to the other timeline when it looked like it was gonna rain. I'm surprised at how content I am just to sit here with Yuri. Normally, I'd want to do something a bit more exciting, but right now, I'm perfectly fine with this calmness. However, Yuri begins to shift uncomfortably. Do I offend? Yuri, is everything okay? She jumps, apparently not expecting that.
Yes, there's just something I need to do that I just remembered.
She quickly gets up, nervously picking at the cuff of her sleeve. More epic foreshadowing.
I'm sorry to leave on such short notice. Please don't think ill of me.
Yuri.
Huh?
I stand up to meet her eye level. You've really got to work on your self-confidence. You apologize a lot for things that aren't even your fault. It must be so difficult having to go through your head all the time, or to having that going through your head all the time. Yuri looks around her, unsure of how to respond.
You're really too kind, Daniel.
I mean it. You're a wonderful person, Yuri. Yuri blushes slightly.
Well, shall we head back now?
Only if you promise you'll be a bit kinder to yourself, okay? To love yourself and be kind to yourself.
I'll try. Thank you for coming to see the lake with me today, Daniel.
Thanks for inviting me. I had a lot of fun today. I'll see you on Monday, okay?
Yes. See you then, Daniel. Let me know what you think of that book. It's very dear to me.
As I thought. Of course. Take care. With a polite wave, Yuri walks away. I'm happy I got to spend some time with her, but I hope she's doing okay. I feel like there's something she's not telling me. If only you knew. If only you knew. I'm probably just overthinking things again. No, for once you're right. Maybe I should just crack open the book Yuri gave me. And then nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. Act 2. Alone Together. In this twisted plot I was destined for. I'm an astronaut on the ocean floor. Oh, hello, look at this. I love this new text box here. Ugh, what was I doing last night? It's just another manic Monday. And I'll be right back. So yeah, it's like with Natsuki we had a pink text box with the balloons and whatever. Here we have a purple one with like a night sky. I quite like it. It's another Monday. Letting out a loud yawn, I drag myself through my morning routine. Maybe staying up to read wasn't my best idea. Now that I think about it,
I can't actually remember the last time I stayed up to read something other than manga. Yuri must be rubbing off on me. And you must really like saying that. Lately, I've been eating breakfast more out of force of habit than anything. And anyhow, the pantry and fridge are starting to look like Sayori's stomach. What? Empty. Oh, that makes more sense. Maybe I can ask Yuri to go shopping with me. Oh boy, shopping date! That'd be nice. I finish my food quickly and make my way out of the house. After a moment, Sayori walks up to me. Hi, Daniel! She's bouncing up and down the balls of her feet. So happy. Hey, Sayori, what's up? I'm just happy to get back into the swing of things. What, is Natsuki bringing in more cupcakes? Oh, I'd like her to. But I'm not sure about that, given everything that happened. Yep. Given the event of which we dare not speak. I don't know, I'm just glad to get back into the normal routine. With all the hullabaloo of the festival, I mean. Don't mention that name! What's so funny now? Hullabaloo's such a weird word. Hullabaloo and howdy-do, musty bronze and Timbuktu. Okay. Pfft, you're a weirdo, Sayori. Says the weirdo. Nuh-uh. You're one to talk. See? I got Sayori on my side. And so the pot calls the kettle black. Oh. We eventually arrive at school and head off to our respective classes. Sayori sending me off by sticking her tongue out at me. As I approach my classroom, my train of thought takes a sharp turn as Sakurai smiles at me. It looks like he's only just arrived himself. Morning, sir. Ah, Daniel. How are you doing? Very excited, of course. Learning about my favorite subject with my favorite teacher. Oh, you make me blush. I'm going to tactically interpret that as non-sarcastic. I laugh as we enter the classroom together. As Sakurai opens his mouth to begin the lesson, some fast footsteps suddenly stop right outside of the room. Ah, Emmy. How nice of you to join us. He raises his eyebrows at her, a mischievous glint in his eyes. Cutting it rather fine, aren't we? I'm beginning to think you'd rather be out on the field than come to one of my fascinating lectures. Sorry, sir. She starts bowing slightly, her cheeks red. I lost track of time and rushed over here as soon as I realized it. Don't worry, I'd rather much be here. She walks over to her desk quickly as Sakurai begins class. Yeah, her voice is going to be different every single time since I can't remember... Well, I guess the obvious answer would be to go back and watch the first video, but... It's like, I just want to keep playing through the game more. I don't want to tread back on previous stuff too much. She walks over to her desk quickly as Sakurai begins class. Whew, that's everything done for today. And nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. As my last class ends, I let my feet steer me towards the club. Walking down the corridor, I absent-mindedly peer into the emptying classrooms passing by. A couple of students chat to the teacher in one classroom, while a ring of friends laugh together in another. Huh, they look fun to be around. Wait, isn't that the green-haired guy from the festival? Oh no. We found the leader of the peanut gallery. Yeah, hard pass. It must suck to be someone in that class. Psh, yeah. It's like, I don't have time for amateur hour over there. Fortunately, all the club members are in different classes. Speaking of which, that's Yuri's coming up now. She better not be in the same class as the peanut gallery leader. And, Yuri's in there. What? Wait,
Hold on, I don't know. Did he mean that... Oh my god, please don't tell me she's in the same class as him. Should I ask her to walk with me to the club? Well, no harm in trying. Shall we be going, milady? Hey, Yuri! Ah! Pfft. That was strange, albeit cute. The sound she just made. Or, yeah! Okay.
Daniel! Sorry for my outburst. I was just surprised.
You're good. What are you still doing in class? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, I guess he does. Everyone's gone by now, so she's the last one here.
About that...
She motions toward a stack of textbooks on her desk. A stack?
I was the last one out of the classroom, so my teacher asked me to deliver these to the student council room.
Oh. She hefts them up in her arms as she speaks, hugging them to her chest. Man, that's... It's like, can I even imagine how heavy those books might be?
I suppose I should get on that now. Could you let the others know why I'll be late?
Hold on. I can help you with those if you want. That's right. Be a gentleman.
No, I can handle it. I can't ask you to take on my responsibilities for me.
Well, too bad because he's a hero of justice. He'll do it, whether you like it or not. Just ask Natsuki in another timeline. Yuri, this isn't a super serious request. It's no sweat for me, really.
It's really alright. I feel bad if I couldn't do this even... I'd feel bad if I couldn't even do this myself.
Yep. It's like the Natsuki flashbacks are coming back to me now. I'm wondering if we're gonna have a similar parallel here. Where he's being too protective of her, and then she's like, oh, I've had enough of this, and... But they look pretty heavy, you know? Yeah, it's almost like... You could easily fall over, depending on how heavy they are.
They're really not, so you don't have to worry about it. Additionally, the student council room is rather close by, so...
I'm guessing that she just doesn't want to bother me over this. After all, those textbooks can't be that light. Should I just take her word for it, or go ahead and help her? Okay, well, here we go. Okay, let's see here. This is going to be... textbooks, and... I'm just gonna say help her. So let's see what that gets me. It's like, I'm gonna do the hero of justice route, or something as close to it. On an impulse, I reach out and take the stack of books from Yuri.
Daniel!
It's seriously fine. I'm happy to help you out in this way.
But I...
Yeah, 'cause the way I see it... You want her to have more self-confidence, right? And she's even hinting at, like, she'd feel bad if she couldn't handle this on her own. So, in a sense, if you want her to grow as a person, at least to me, the right option would be to let her handle it. That way, she can kind of push herself a little bit to be more independent and maybe a little more aggressive. However, if I'm here coddling her, she will have no such growth, and therefore, she will never really have the self-confidence she needs, thinking that she always needs to have somebody there to look out for her and protect her, especially when she doesn't need it. It's no bother, Yuri. In fact, I insist on carrying this stuff for you. Besides, I can't let a girl do all the dirty work, right? Yeah, you see. Depending on the day and age you say this in, it's almost like... Well, I'm not even going to get into that, because... Yeah, that's a subject I would rather not touch on.
I don't see what my being a girl has to do with anything.
Because, yeah, well... Okay, I guess I'm going to let it I'm only gonna say just some stuff on this lightly. Like, in a sense, now that I look at it, she probably feels like you're treating her specially because she's a girl. Possibly, kind of, in a sense, like she feels like you're putting her down just because of her gender. Well, you know, I mean, like I've said, his heart's in the right place, but yeah, well, I feel like this is possibly going to backfire on him somehow. Shoot, that looks like that was the wrong thing to say. You bet it was. What I meant was that you're my friend, so... Well, it's like, yep, you're not saving yourself from this one.
Well, wanna get going then? Daniel, I told you that I could do it myself. I wasn't trying to be coy or anything. I guess she really did want to carry them herself. Damn, it's too late to take it back, though. Hey, you know what? How about next time I need some help, I'll call you up, alright?
To try to call it even. That way we're even. Okay, yeah.
I suppose so.
Yeah, I can already see this is definitely not going to work out. But, yeah, if I'm trying to... This time I'm going to see if I can get the bad ending on purpose. That way I can work up to the good ending later. We set off down the hall, and soon enough, we're just about in front of the student council room. Or, you know, you maybe could have just taken some of the books from her and then let her carry the rest of them.
I'll wait for you outside, alright? Alright. It shouldn't take very long anyway. As she turns to take the textbooks from me, her ankle appears to twist beneath her. What? Almost as if in slow motion, Yuri tumbles to the ground, landing on an ungainly heap on the floor. A redness blossoms in her cheeks that's only hastened by giggling and staring at bystanders passing by. Here, need any help? I reach down to offer my hand, but she springs to her feet without taking it, avoiding my eyes by staring down to straightening her skirt. You're not hurt, are you? No, it's fine. Here, I can take the books now. With the books back in Yuri's arms, we awkwardly stand together without saying anything for a few moments. Wait here for a moment, please. She quickly shuffles into the room in front of us, re-emerging a minute later. Wanna get going now? Yuri nods in affirmation, opening her mouth to speak. However, she's interrupted by giggling from a couple of girls standing nearby. Oh, great. Are these the residential mean girls in every high school that I've heard about? They were there when Yuri tripped. Or... Okay, yeah. They are the mean girls, aren't they? You jerks, you tripped her on purpose! Don't tell me they're laughing at her. Judging by Yuri's expression, it looks like that's the conclusion she's drawn. She buries her face in her hands. I can only imagine how red her face is. I can't believe Hey, Yuri. It's okay, really. No one's gonna care or remember what happened in a few minutes. Yeah, they all have short attention spans and short-term memory after all. They're like goldfish. Well, those giggling girls aren't helping my argument, but what else am I supposed to say? Come on, let's just leave them and get over to the club. Away from them. You can distract yourself with books there. With a sigh, Yuri drops her hands from her face. She doesn't say anything, instead opting to shoot me a miserable look. Let's go. You'll feel better when you're back with the others. A few moments later, we arrive in front of the club room. So, how are you doing? How's your ankle? Yeah, this is... Oh boy. However, she elects to enter the club room instead of answering me. Now she hates me! Following Yuri into the club room, I call out her name. Yuri! trouble in paradise?
Don't talk to me!
Sorry, Daniel, is something wrong? Hey guys, sorry, I really need to talk to Yuri right now. Yuri, can we talk outside? Alright. I quickly shuffle Yuri out of the room while attempting an apologetic face to the others.
Sorry, Sayori, not you. I'll just be barring Yuri for a bit, guys. Carry on with whatever you were doing.
Yuri. Sorry, but did I upset you? Huh? What do you mean? Well, you didn't answer me when I asked you a question before. Oh, I must not have heard you. Really? I can't really tell if she's making an excuse or not. Sorry, I just don't particularly feel like talking right now. Yuri turns her face away from me, a sheet of silky hair blocking her from view. Suffice to say, I'm feeling rather off balance right now. You don't have to tell me about it if you don't want to. But just know that I'll always provide you a listening ear. Thank you. Sorry about assuming things when I took the books off your hands. I just really wanted to help you. No need to apologize, Daniel. There's really no logical reason for me to be upset over it. She sighs deeply, closing her eyes. So I'm wondering what would have happened if I had let her take the books on her own. Would she still have fallen? Well, that'll be a question that'll be answered another time. I don't know why I feel the way I feel. Is it strange to say that I don't understand myself? On the contrary, no. In fact, even now, I'm still learning to understand myself. No, I don't think it's strange at all. I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling, including myself. And me. It probably takes a lot of emotional intelligence to truly articulate why you don't feel so hot. But please, don't be afraid to contact me if you ever need help. For that matter, don't be afraid to contact any of the other girls as well. I'm sure they'd pick up the phone pretty fast. I think you mean quickly.
Oh. It's like, okay, Miss Grammar School teacher, I'm sorry that I can't do English good.
Never mind. Well, I'm glad I have your support, Daniel.
It's like, yeah, that's a bit of grammar humor for you there. Yeah, of course.
Would you like to head back inside now? The others must be wondering what we're doing out here.
We're talking about bungee jumping. Oh, alright, wouldn't want to keep them waiting too long, I guess. To make their dirty minds wander. Monica arches an eyebrow at me as I head back inside, Yuri trailing along behind me. And Monica has the dirtiest mind out of all of them.
Had a pleasant conversation then?
Yes, about bungee jumping. Nothing else. So get your mind out of the gutter.
Sure. Pleasant enough. Geez, next time you spend half the club standing around outside and forcing an actually integral member of the club to do the same, just don't bother to come.
Yeah, you're really not helping your case here.
Integral member?
Well, I guess considering you are, like, well, supposedly... Well, she thinks he's just here to hang out and do nothing, and I guess so does she, so... You're the one who's doing a lot of the reading, too, so...
Huh? I mean, it's not like I meant anything special by that, dummy. I just meant you're one of the big four, like the original members.
What am I, chopped lava or something?
Thank you. Okay, now. So yeah, don't look so deeply into it. It's not like I like you or anything. It's not like I'm aware of all the fan art shipping us together or something. Dummy. Natsuki, asking Yuri not to analyze words is like asking me not to eat.
Exactly. She needs to eat to live. So that means she needs to analyze words to live. Wait. Well, anyways. You know, it's not saying much if you're part of the Big Four when there are only 5 members in the club. The Big Four and Mr. Chopped Lava. Ugh, you know what I mean. Looks like Natsuki's fonder of Yuri than she lets on. Monica, who do you ship Yuri with? Me or her?
Hey! Stop ganging up on me! Stop staring at me!
Oh, it's good to be back. How sweet it is! And then I guess nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. Today, Yuri and I are going out shopping together, and judging by the sunny weather outside, it looks like there's some pathetic fallacy going on. What? I was gonna say something about like, oh boy, shopping date, but then I saw this and I'm like, what? I can't even remember the last time I went food shopping of my own volition.
I'll have to admit, I was surprised when you messaged me about it.
Yeah. It just kind of gets boring for me personally, shopping alone. And I'd figured that you'd make great company.
Well, I can't say I relate to being bored while shopping alone. I actually rather enjoy spending that time with my thoughts to myself.
Oh, I guess that does make sense.
Not to say that I don't want to be here right now. I mean, it's a nice change of pace, being able to talk to someone and gather their opinions on different products.
It's like, so which do you prefer? Ketchup or catsup?
And I did have to buy more groceries, too.
No worries, I get you. You know... Oh, great. I don't know if you want to be comparing her to Natsuki. Especially if they're not exactly on the best of terms right now. You know, you kind of sounded like Natsuki there. See, I told you. You shouldn't have done that. Yuri's pretty cute when she gets flustered. Well, be though as it may, and this is just coming from me, I don't know if you want to exactly fluster her too much, especially at her expense, so... I'm just saying... I nearly have to bite my tongue to stop myself from teasing her so I can see her get flustered again. Yeah, because in a sense it almost sounds like... Okay, it's one thing if you're doing it playfully, but to be doing it on purpose just because, like, oh, I love seeing her fluster and whatever, and you're doing it too much, like... You're gonna kind of mess with her head a bit, or so I would think. That's just me. Careful, Daniel, she's not Sayori, and she might not respond as well to teasing. Exactly. Sayori's a different kind of girl, with her own set of... You know, her own sense of humor and whatever. Yuri is different from that, so... What'll work on her will not work on her. Although she probably wouldn't respond as bad as Natsuki. Natsuki will punch you in the face! Oh boy! This is a different place and... Okay. So we're not here at Santa's convenience store.
Ah, and there's the store.
Never mind. Now we are in Santa's convenience store. And there's Pikachu! Yuri and I pick up shopping baskets as we enter the store.
By the way, what items are you looking for?
Oh, just some basic stuff like ramen and frozen foods. Pretty much just instant food.
Oh, I see.
I can almost feel the judgment.
How uncouth of you.
Note to self. Learn how to cook something that takes more than 2 seconds to make. A guy who can cook is never a bad thing. In fact, there are women out there who love guys who can cook.
Do you happen to have everything else you need then?
What do you mean?
I meant things such as vegetables, spices, and the like.
Yeah, those are hardly ever in my house.
I actually don't have that stuff at home.
Usually, I just make pre-made food. You know, food that you just need to heat up or boil for in a few minutes. I think she knows what that means. If she knows what that super long word that just means beautiful means, then I'm sure she knows what that means.
Do your parents usually cook your meals and buy the fresher ingredients then?
I wish. It'd be great if my mom was home more often to do that. Let's see. Although I can't be ungrateful, the reason why she's away all the time is because she needs to raise me as a single mother. She has to balance the job to support you all, and so it's like, yeah, she's trying, but it can definitely be difficult. So it's like my mother was a single mom for the longest time. I remember she would have her regular job, and then, like, I think during, what was it, Thanksgiving and Christmas, she took a part-time job at Walmart, which, so it was like, in times like those, I would hardly ever see her, and I even began to kind of miss her. Like, I would ask my grandma, like, when's mom coming home? And I mean, it's like, at the time I didn't quite understand it since I was still too little to get it, but, well, she was trying everything she could just to support us, and, well, eventually, suffice to say, she just couldn't do it anymore. She couldn't really put up with all that stress. And then likewise, she kind of did that again after she kind of divorced her previous husband, my stepdad, so... Anyways, that's neither here nor there. And that's definitely not an easy task. Yeah, if my mom was still here, she could probably tell you that herself. I actually do most of the cooking since my mom's usually out for work. Ever since she got this huge promotion, she's had to travel the world and business trips to see clients. I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody is looking for something.
Oh, I see.
She looks away for a moment.
What about your father?
I don't know. Oh, well, my parents got divorced some time ago.
Ah, I'm so sorry, Daniel. You don't have to talk about it if you'd prefer not to.
No, it's fine. I've come to terms with it already. Everything was fine and happy when I was a kid, but my parents gradually started arguing more and more as I grew up. Now that I look back, I think it was because my dad took my mom for granted. Oh, I see. Like, even though they both worked, my mom also cooked and cleaned and did all the usual homemaker stuff. So it's like, on top of this, she still had to come home and do this. And let me guess, he didn't do anything to help whatsoever. They started getting more and more stressed out because of everything until they finally split. I ended up with my mom, and my dad just left. I think he has a new girlfriend, but I haven't seen them a lot. I don't know, it just feels kind of weird whenever I think about my dad having a new partner. Yuri gazes at me with a gentle look on her face. Surprising, her eyes hold a gentle understanding in them rather than pity. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on and on about it. I usually bottle this stuff up, so I guess it just flooded out. And that's why you usually don't want to bottle up your emotions. Because you never know how it's going to come out later on. In this case, it was rather harmless. But in the worst case scenario, who knows? You could lash out at somebody unintentionally.
That's alright, Daniel. There's no need to apologize. Apologizing is my thing, remember? I can't say I have much experience with dealing with divorced parents. But if you ever need to vent about it, I'll be there. After all, it's only fair if I reciprocate. Thanks, and yeah, just having someone to listen helps. You have no idea how much it can. We move through the aisles in a companionable silence for a while. The light from the fluorescent strips overhead shine brightly off the jars and packages we pass by. There's a small clinking sound as Yuri softly drags her fingertips across a row of jars containing kimchi. So, Yuri, do your parents do most of the cooking? I typically prepare the meals. Oh, what do you normally cook? She takes a moment, looking at some of the food in front of us. Some of my favorite foods are fish-based. Interesting. There's nothing as delectable as teriyaki salmon, in my opinion. She stands up straighter as she says this, a smile growing on her face. So happy. I really do enjoy home cooking. Most people look forward to eating out at restaurants, but I've always preferred eating comfort foods at home. Sometimes a simple rice dish is all it takes to warm you up inside. You feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And yeah, it's like, I can definitely enjoy a good rice dish. Like I mentioned in I don't know what other video, I still miss my grandmother's rice. I wish I knew how she made it, but when she made it, it's like I looked forward to that so much. Also funny. You should actually try making one sometime. They're very convenient and extremely quick recipes. Oh, can you give me some recipes then? They hardly need recipes. One that I usually reserve for breakfast is egg rice. I assume that you have a rice cooker at home, yes? Huh? Who doesn't have one? Me. I usually just cook rice myself on a stovetop. Well, that simplifies things a lot. All you have to do is make a bowl of nice fluffy white rice and dig a small dip in the middle of the rice. After that, you crack open a raw egg in the middle, season with soy sauce and rice seasoning, mix it together with your chopsticks, and you're done. Well, that definitely does sound very doable. And so, technically, I guess you don't really need a rice cooker then. You can just make it on a stovetop like I do. Which is pretty much why I don't have a rice cooker. It's like, why do I need that when I can just use the stove? Well, if I don't have a stove, then... Huh, that does sound really simple. Although I ran out of rice seasoning a long time ago. Well then, look where you're at. Well, you can pick some up right now. Exactly, it's like you're in a literal grocery store. So why don't you get some? It really is a delicious dish, despite, or perhaps of, its simplicity. The frothy lightness of the egg, paired with the subtle sweetness of the rice and rich savoriness of the seasonings. I actually like to sprinkle on some chopped green onions at the end too, for that extra bit of crisp freshness. Oh. Man, my mouth is watering at this point. That's what comfort food does to you. One of my guilty pleasures is even simpler though. Sometimes, when I don't have the time or energy to cook, I take cold leftover rice and pour some hot tea over it. Huh. I've never heard of doing that. Wow, you're more of a tea lover than I thought. It may sound strange, but it's a delight when I pair it with slices of pickled daikon. No, I get you though. When I was a kid, my mom used to give me leftover rice drizzled with soy sauce if I begged for a snack whenever she was too busy to cook me something substantial. Now that I think about it, it probably tastes similar to egg rice. Most likely, yes. I do enjoy making more complicated side dishes to accompany rice, though. Vegetable stir-fries are dishes that I return to quite often. I do enjoy the combination of sweetness and umami. The way an onion's sharp, sweet taste pairs with the other vegetables, such as with other vegetables such as mushrooms and bell peppers. Really satisfies my appetite. Wow, you're quite a chef, huh? She starts blushing and puts her hands together. I mean, I just know some family recipes is all. Once you understand the basics of cooking, it's quite easy to make something appetizing. If your cooking is anything like your poetry, I'd love to learn from you. Oh? I'm not aiming to be a master chef, but if I could learn even just a bit from Yuri, I could probably mix up my dinner some. I almost read this as Master Chief. As we pass through the freezer aisle, I fill up a good portion of my basket with bags of frozen dumplings. So, do you really like dumplings then? While I do like dumplings, this brand of gyoza is a bit special. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yuri stares at the freezer for a moment. How so? Well, I guess they hold some nice memories. Even though my mom did make homemade dumplings sometimes, my dad and I always liked this brand of frozen dumplings the most. I guess it became one of our favorite meals, despite being, well, a frozen food. That always drove my mom crazy. My parents have always been busy with work, but we try to have at least one meal together as a family every day. Then after a while, we went from having them every day to every other day. And for a lot of those meals, my mom ended up making the gyoza because my dad and I wanted them. Why don't you try making them yourself? Well, we tried, but my dad and I always burnt them. We tried boiling them too, but I prefer them fried. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of conditioned to associate these dumplings with good time spent with my family. Oh, I see. For a moment, Yuri is lost in thoughts, thinking about the ocean's gray waves. So, do you still burn them then, or... Hey, what kind of opinion do you have about my cooking? I never burnt them anymore. Well, I rarely burn them. Yuri giggles at my admission. I suppose you've made quite a lot of them then. Possibly. Sure have. I miraculously haven't gotten rid of them yet either. Actually, there's a funny story attached to one of the first times I tried making them myself. Oh boy. I bet the funny lady's gonna enjoy a funny story. Oh, what happened? Do you remember when I asked about how Sayori almost burnt... do you remember when I talked about how Sayori almost burned her house down after she tried cooking? Yes, I believe I do. Well, that was the time we tried making these dumplings ourselves. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, yes, you almost burnt the house down, but I'm saying uh-oh because it's like, how is Yuri going to respond to that? I left Sayori in charge when I went to the bathroom. Then I started smelling smoke accompanied by her yelling from downstairs. Apparently she tried to pick up the pan and dumplings were frying on and somehow burnt herself and flipped the pan in the process. Oh jeez. And the dumplings were scattered on the stove. Those poor dumplings. Never mind that, Sayori burned herself. What's wrong with you? She started panicking, and before she knew it, the dumplings were on fire. I'm just glad her parents kept a fire extinguisher under the sink. Oh damn, that's some pretty good thinking there. It sounds like you had quite the time. We had a grand old time. Yeah, and luckily Sayori wasn't burnt much by the pan. Okay, well that's good. All's well that ends well, I guess. That's what Shakespeare says. It seems like these dumplings are to you as oolong tea is to me. Oh. Are we gonna have some more backstory?
How so? Yay, more backstory!
Well, she picks up a bag of oolong tea. When I was younger, my mom always made fresh tea when I arrived home. Occasionally, it was another kind of tea, but we usually had oolong. At first, I was indifferent to tea, but over time I developed a taste for it. Now whenever I drink it, it reminds me of her.
That's really nice, Yuri. I guess we're more similar than I imagined. You know what? I have an idea. Oh no. He's having an idea. We know how this could possibly go. How about we cook something together at my house this weekend? Yay, cooking date.
Are you certain? I mean, I'm not exactly an expert in preparing food now.
Well, good thing I'm no expert either. So we'll work together. Or we'll burn the house down together, I don't know. Either way, we'll have a grand old time together, and then we can laugh about it tomorrow. If the house doesn't burn down, at least. That way we can learn together.
I see your point there.
Would Sunday morning work? 'Cause I'm easy like Sunday morning. Oh.
I apologize. I have some obligations I must attend to on Sunday.
She looks up and away for a moment, waving her hands.
Not that I don't want to spend time with you. This Sunday is usually the day I spend...
She turns away again. I'm guessing she's lost in thought. Either that, or she really likes whole wheat bread. Bread. How about Saturday night? Saturday, night.
Yes, that would work.
She lets out a sigh of relief and continues walking with me to the checkout. With everything paid for, we start the walk home. As I turn to speak to Yuri, though, I spot a small flash of pink. Damn it, why are you spying on me? It's like, are you really that jealous? What? Hey look, it's Natsuki. Yuri starts speeding up a little. Do you want to go say hi to her?
Let's not and say we did. I don't know. She seems like she might be busy.
Not really, considering... Is she seriously, like, stalking him or something? Like, what is this?
Besides, don't you need to get your dumplings in the freezer?
I mean, it's not like... If we spend, like, 2 minutes talking to her, it's not like it's gonna make that much of a difference in the end. But... I mean, I guess, but... Okay, well... I guess, in addition to this being the hero of justice route, I guess... This is also going to be the... what am I gonna say? The make Yuri uncomfortable route, which... I'm sorry, I don't want to. Let's see here. Say hi. Okay, well... Let's see how this goes. Okay, Yuri, it's time for more public humiliation. The worst case scenario is we just say hi and keep walking, right? If you want to be better friends with her, you'll need to talk to her sometime. Oh wait, am I actually going to help her with this? You even started writing poetry using rhyming schemes and things like that so you could relate to her more, right? It's like, oops. It's like, oh darn it, I'm helping her with her character development. Your problems won't go away just by hoping. Just by you hoping they will. After years of playing video games to fill the void of loneliness, one thing's for sure. Problems like loneliness don't always simply disappear. If Sayori didn't come along, I might have become a NEET.
Well, I just don't know.
Look at it this way. You remember how you talked about the people in books being kind of like friends?
Yes, I recall that.
If all those characters never went after what they wanted, would they be any better off? Even if we mess up sometime, at least we tried. Because the best teacher failure is. That's probably the only positive thing that I ever got out of The Last Jedi. Otherwise, yeah. No, Rian Johnson. Stay away from Star Wars. She stands there contemplating everything I said. Oh look, Natsuki's gone.
I do understand that you have a point, but it's difficult for me to do. It may come naturally to you, starting conversations with acquaintances and strangers.
Yeah, it's not natural for me. Even if it's a good friend, I may struggle to start a conversation. It's like I have really bad social anxiety, IRL.
But it's just hard for me to do.
She looks away, playing with her hair. Well, you at least started a conversation with me when I first joined the club, right?
That was because I had to, though.
What about the book you gifted me? You initiated that yourself, right?
It was my duty as a club member to make you feel more welcomed, but that doesn't mean I didn't rehearse the conversation over and over in my mind before I spoke to you. And admittedly, I did want someone to share my books with.
So if you talk to Natsuki more, won't you be able to share your interests with her too? You might even be able to get her into your literature more, and who knows, she might have some manga in a genre more suited to your tastes. Yuri visibly inhales and breathes a deep sigh out.
If I don't do anything, then the current situation won't improve.
That's pretty much what he's saying. She's shaking slightly. Oh no. How about I stick with you while you talk to her? I mean, it's okay if she hates me, but... well, she can't possibly hate me even more than she already does now. That way, even if things don't go well, we can still walk away and you don't have to be alone. And then we can just laugh it off later and forget it happened. She takes another deep breath. I can visibly see her trying to compose herself.
That would be nice. Can you give me a moment first, though? I need to gather up my courage.
Of course.
Thank you.
After a brief pause, Yuri nods to me. Her face looks a bit gray with nerves, but her resolve seems solid at least. We make our way toward Natsuki, who fortunately hasn't gotten far yet. Oh.
Hello, Natsuki.
The greeting comes out a little loud, making Yuri grimace a bit.
Hello, Natsuki!
Okay. I try to shoot her a comforting smile, although I'm not sure if she actually saw it.
Oh, hey, Yuri.
And Daniel. Didn't expect to see you here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright, I guess. She glances over at the shopping bags I'm carrying. You went shopping together? You got a problem with it? We went shopping together in another timeline, but you don't remember that. Yep.
Yes, we happened to need to go to the store at the same time.
How convenient. Oh, you just happened to, huh? I roll my eyes, causing Natsuki to smirk.
That's right.
Maybe it's actually Natsuki's teasing and sense of humor paired with Yuri's inability to deal with teasing that makes them incompatible. All of a sudden, a gurgling fills the air. Judging by the way Natsuki stiffens up, it must have been her stomach. Oh no. Yuri fidgets for a moment as Natsuki looks away from us. It seems like Yuri's really struggling to get her words out. An idea suddenly pops into my head, and I can't help but lean in to whisper to Yuri about it. Oh no, he has another idea. What could this be?
Why don't you invite Natsuki over to your place for dinner?
Okay, it's like, are you also trying to ship Natsuki and Yuri together? Yuri's face blanches slightly. Is she really that nervous about it? I must have underestimated her social anxiety. Yes, because it can be the worst thing ever. Like, it could, like, depending on how badly it gets, you could literally just send yourself into a panic at the mere idea of just, in a sense, maybe like humiliating yourself in front of strangers or even good friends.
Hey, care to share with the rest of the class?
No, Miss Natsuki. At this point, Natsuki's beet red.
Natsuki, would you like to eat out with me tonight?
Yay! Yuri's voice sounds a little strangled as she speaks. It's a bit strange that she wants to eat out tonight, though, considering how much she likes home cooking. Huh. Interesting.
Are you sure? Well, if you'd like, I haven't eaten out in a while, so... I do have to put away my groceries first, but we can go after that.
Natsuki's expression softens more than I expected.
I don't know. I don't want to impose. I should probably be getting home soon anyway. Are you sure? It's really not a bother. If it doesn't take too long, then I guess I could. We might have to get takeout, though.
Hey, I'm gonna head back home and put my stuff away. I'll see you all in the club. Before Yuri turns to go, I give her a thumbs up and smile that she returns with a blush. You did good. Exchanging goodbyes, we head our separate ways. And then nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. Okay, well, as to avoid another 2-hour-long video, I think I'm going to stop it here. So, next time, yeah, we're starting to get into the real meat and potatoes of this mod. And it's Saturday, and we have this happy music playing. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, let me just... save over that. So yeah, it's like, I'm going to take the advice of the comments, and I'm going to use as much of these 9 pages of save slots as possible. That way I don't shoot myself in the foot very much. Alright, well then I guess I will see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later folks.